Damo, time for your news, and we have to start with the man joining us today, Ross Lyon, and the Essendon coaching situation.
Yeah, well, I see Sam McClure's name in a print article, Joey, an online article, and I take it as at face value. I think he's a very good journalist, as good as there is. So when I see him with a byline saying Ross is out of the Essendon job, and fortuitously for us, Ross is now with us today. You're out, Ross. You're not coaching the Bombers.
Yeah, I am. Look, I remember Perfect Match, Dexter.
Yep.
The machine. I got hold of Dexter. I put all the information in, and it came out as a match 38%. Not a perfect match. So
it's not you, it's
So I
them.
sent Josh Marnie the email and went, I'm out.
So why? Because you were
That's
going
why.
to be
I
a
can't be any
consideration.
clearer.
No, but okay. So you being out of the process, does that totally rule you out of being coach? I say that. Is there a
I've answered it, I would think so.
Is there a possibility though they may not require you
I
to
have
go through a process?
Look, it was really simply, which I did comment the week before on Footy Club. There was a lot of really generous words from some people I respect, and obviously Lee Matthews carries a lot of weight in the game. So that was nice. I spoke about, and it got misinterpreted a bit, like there was no confusion with what Essendon was doing. I was aware they were getting their ducks in a row, but I spoke about my confusion internally because it's been 2 years. I hadn't generated anything. I've got no manager. I'm not out there stimulating. Hadn't spoken to anyone, but there was all this swirling around me, and it just does stir up a lot of emotions inside because I coached, 305 grand finals and grand finals.
That's a bloody good record.
Every week, wasn't it? That was a slip in
And
the
still
tongue.
no wins.
Freudian slip. Every week, yeah.
Let's go with 3 anyway.
Yeah, every week's a grand final, right? Otherwise, you don't get there. So that's about right. So it just stirred up a lot of emotion. It's a person I've sort of locked away, to be honest, thank God. And, so then when Josh, there was a missed call on Sunday night, checked the message bank, Josh Money, and then I just texted him, said, look, I'm really busy tomorrow at work. It was a property group. Always get that in. I'll call you after 6:30. So I rang him 6:30 Monday night, and we had a discussion. And off the bat, I just said, look, I don't feel it's the right fit for me. We can just explain what it is. And he was really good. Really simply, they're going to have about 5 or 6 candidates, at least 2 steps, maybe 3. But the first step I wouldn't be in. I think that's for guys that hadn't coached before. There's some hurdles for them to jump, and I think they narrowed down for them. And the second round would be like a couple-hour presentation, or 2 hours with a presentation, how you connect with players, sort of build that relationship, and what your first 30...
Why don't you want to go through it?
Hang on, first 30 days look like?
Yep.
I'm trying to chew up the time here. And then I said, look, send me through the steps, and it was an NDA, and I thought about it for an hour and a half, and then I just emailed him back. I said, thanks for the call. I have no desire to take it any further.
And why is that? I know you can't summarise maybe everything you're going through, but for this purpose of this conversation, why?
If they approached it differently, though, would that have been a different outcome in terms of we want you, you're our guy?
Can we just get the why, though, first, though, Dave? Hang on.
I can't articulate the why.
Despite them wanting you.
Sometimes it's just Essendon wasn't vibing. There was no vibe.
If it was a chips-in approach, would that have changed it? In terms of a chips-in, in terms of they ring you, say, mate, we want you to coach.
Clarko style.
Stick your process up your wherever you want to stick it.
Look, I had a little bit of, they do background. A lot of, what do you call it, due diligence actually came to me. People reached out, and they might have had Essendon connections, and people that were supportive with Essendon backgrounds of me applying, and they just tried to soothe those waters a little bit to understand it. I think it's complex, but ultimately I think you're right. You need absolute backing. And really on the surface, I didn't feel that was probably possible. So therefore, what's the point?
So just to put a line on it, and so that we don't have to subject you to this type of questioning, because I know you love it. Is there any way that if Essendon goes through its process and then comes back to you and says...
No
okay.
way.
So this is it,
out.
100%
I'm
out?
1,000,000% out.
Okay.
But out of the Essendon job, not necessarily out of coaching full stop.
We're only talking about Essendon, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, right.
Well, last year I had a wonderful offer in hindsight when I spoke to Chris Scott. I said, I should have taken it. But, they offered me a role last year, but it was just too difficult.
When you spoke to Chris Scott?
Yeah, because last year, him and Steve Hocking. That was a wonderful opportunity. And I said, mate, you don't need the headache of me coming down. So
to work as a senior assistant to Chris.
Well, yeah, there was a role. They said we could create it for whatever you think your strengths are and how we could work it, and we'll make it work. But it was just too difficult.
And let's be honest, you love the Triple M family. You love all the boys at
How can
Triple
I
M.
leave
You
this?
can't leave us.
Seriously.
That's what it is.
The Sunday
deep down.
rub.
You can't leave
I don't
us.
want to espouse our ratings any more than we already have. But I love that experience. It's been good for me to get the other side of the fence.
Do you like us more now?
I never disliked anybody.
No, you didn't.
Speaking of the other side of the fence, Damo, the
maybe a couple.
other news of the last 24 hours has been that the new TV rights deal